Fluff your beard. Do you hairspray?
Alright. Action. Hey guys, welcome to Channel Sundown. I'm your co-host JESS KORESH, aka Dynamic Lover. And who's this lovely lady?
Hi guys, it's Amanda here, your CUTIE Carnage, here on another episode of Channel Sundown.
So Sundowners, we did something a little different today. We went and saw a musical put on by Arkansas High. It was a production of Heathers, the musical version, and it's based on the, as many of you are familiar, the 1988 film, classic film starring Christian Slater and Winona Ryder.
But we are not going to include the TV show of the same name. We'll leave that one out.
Have you seen the show? I haven't seen the show.
I'm just gonna say I haven't. I'm just
It
gonna
didn't
say I
look good.
haven't.
Yeah.
It was something else entirely.
But the musical's running strong, so that should tell you something.
There's always something.
There's always something. That's our review. There's always something.
Heathers is a very, very controversial film. It dives into everything. It dives to being a teenage girl, murder, bullying, and just everything. And this musical, suicide, and this musical drops right into that whole plethora of teen anger and angst. And basically the musical starts just like the film does, basically. You go in and you meet Veronica. Of course, is bullied and doesn't feel totally she's cared about, wanted. And of course she looks up to the three bitches of the school, which of course are the Heathers. Heather 1, Heather 2, Heather 3. Yes, there's not just one bitch, there's 3 of them.
Always the way.
I know, they come in threes.
It's kind of that classic, and I think Heathers might have been the first thing to do this, but there's always that classic mean girls and all that. You know, the girl that wants to fit in with the mean group, you know.
And it's not just her. She's kind of the voice of most of the people in the school, not just the girls. There's the boys, and they start off with the first song, like they said. They have the girls who want to be in them and the girls who want to be with and close to them, or want to sit with them. What does it say? Sit with them.
Yeah, sit with them. That's like the thing in high school. You want to sit at the cool table. You know all about that.
Yeah, I never got invited to sit with anybody.
Very special episode.
Episode of Channel Sundown. A man wants to sit with somebody.
And so this girl Veronica, she wants to be part of the cool crowd, and she ends up mixed up with this kind of loner outsider bad boy, and that's when things start to take kind of a dark turn. It's a very dark, a very, very dark comedy, but I love dark comedies.
That's why I think horror makes the best murder stories kind of make the best comedy, as dark as it sounds, because they take, you know, what you dread the most, they kind of find a way of making it, I guess, somewhat relatable, but then at the same time it's funny.
Yeah.
It's like everyone's terrified of it, but the fact you can laugh at it, you kind of own it in a weird way.
It takes what's frightening about it out, kind of.
Basically, it makes it
laughter is the
relatable.
best medicine, but
There you
it
go.
can't cure murder.
No, you can't. You can't laugh somebody back. You giggle to the grave.
But you can't giggle out of the grave.
Yeah, there you go. I like that one better. Can't giggle out of the grave. If you've seen Heathers, the musical, although it has singing and dance numbers, it's very, very alike. Seeing Heathers the movie, then you know how it's going to end. And it's very, how would I describe the ending without giving anything away? It is very, if you've seen the original film, I think the ending of the musical is satisfying. A fan of the original film, the non-musical version, I'm very happy with how the musical concludes its song and dance spectacle.
Found the ending of the musical very satisfying. Almost as satisfying as the delicious Snickers bar that I got from the concession stand during the intermission.
You would not be quiet about that. You're allowed when you're eating it, and you're allowed when you got it.
They were only $1. They got a standing ovation.
Yeah.
I will say that. Bless the kids' hearts. They put on a good show, and then they kind of did like a encore number.
They did.
Yeah.
They did.
So that was something.
It was.
Like my musicals are very limited. Like I've seen like the Buffy the Vampire Slayer episode. That's a musical.
Oh, what's horror film?
And Dr. Horrible.
Yeah.
And Monty Python. That's
and Phantom of the
Paradise.
Paradise.
And Phantom of the Paradise and Rocky Horror Picture Show. But still, you've
The two I made him
you've
watch.
seen a lot more than I have.
Yeah, I made.
But I enjoyed it.
Paradise.
Yeah, I thought it was fun. I thought it was a lot of fun. I love a dark comedy and make it a dark comedy musical and take my money.
He's there.
It was the Arkansas High production of Heathers, the musical, the high school edition. There was a lot of controversy surrounding this. People didn't want it to go down. Matter of fact, they couldn't do it at Arkansas High. They had to find a separate location to perform the musical at because they wanted them to take out the song My Dead Gay Son. And they told them if they took that song out, then they could perform at Arkansas High, from what I understand. And
They would not.
They did not want to take the song out, moved it to a separate location. So shout out to you Rebel directors and you Rebel cast members.
We live in Texarkana, so it's like one side of the street's Arkansas, one other side of the street's Texas. So it's like really, really kind of Bible Belt, very religious, very closed into things that are, I love my dead gay son. They were just like, I don't know if that's
even though this material is based on a movie from the 1980s.
Yeah, exactly. But they're just like, oh well.
we haven't moved into the 1990s just yet.
Yeah, exactly. The main thing I'm curious about is play versus film. And this is very, very interesting. Yes, you got both hands.
Hey, Macarena.
Yes, we won't do that because that was cut a long time ago. Anyways, that being said, I'm curious, Jesse, the play or the film? What were your positives? Do you think we should recommend the play, or do you think people should dive into the film?
Well, you know me, I always play devil's advocate. I think the world is big enough for both of them. I enjoy the movie. It's a classic. But I think that the musical added like a fun element to it, and it added a lot more comedy to it. You know what I mean? I didn't realize that was missing from it. But I think you should see both. I think if you haven't seen the movie, you should definitely see the movie, and then maybe after you see the movie, check out the musical. And then
Theater kid, middle school, high school, that was kind of like my thing. I love the musical. That's my personal opinion. But I understand a lot of people who have a hard time with musicals. That being said, I think Heathers is kind of like the best way to kind of like get into kind of the harder musicals. Like you have, Rocky Horror Picture Show, Phantom of the Paradise. You have other films that I have people watch that are just kind of like, oh, there's so much. Heathers has all the positives I love in the film mixed with all the things you appreciate in a musical. Because a lot of people don't realize that in musicals, yes, there's a lot of dancing, a lot of singing. There's a lot of story wrapped into the music. Because honestly, what's the first thing we all do when we're happy? We sing. What's the first thing we do when we're sad? We listen to a song. I mean, music is kind of relatable in any situation of any atmosphere. So when you get into that, it kind of involves each other with the feelings of suicide, depression, anxiety, being alone. So I think Heathers the musical is something people should dive into first before adapting into the film. That being said, I love the film, but I think the Heathers musical is kind of like one of those things that I think you should see before the film, because the film, a lot of my friends love this film. That being said, a lot of my friends are drag queens who love this film, so they have a whole other idea of just, evolving and becoming a new person. So they kind of identify and have respect for the film versus a lot of my friends who are just like, oh, this is weird. Winona Ryder looks, young. And I'm like, yeah, she used to be
That's
a
their
lot younger.
takeaway.
Yeah. Well, because they're like Stranger Things. I'm like, yeah, she
Oh,
used to be
yeah.
a kid,
Right.
And they're like, who's this guy? I'm like, it's Christian Slater. He used to be a big deal. But he's still a big deal in my book.
Mr. Robot.
Yeah, exactly. They're like, oh,
So what you're saying is that Heathers is a gateway musical, perhaps.
yes.
Until they're like,
Yeah.
But I see what you're saying, because a lot of younger, it's with Glee and all that kind of
Yes.
stuff. It's like people are like, musicals are kind of a bigger thing now,
Mhm.
and so I can totally see somebody, because isn't there a Mean Girls musical and stuff?
Yes.
Now? Yeah. So there's
And American Psycho.
Yeah, and so that's a way to bring old stuff
Mm-hmm.
to a newer generation that may not, because I can see that younger people might really like Heathers the musical, but not even care about the original movie.
Exactly. And if
So,
you guys watch, exactly right. And if I can see people watching the musical kind of understanding the film more and getting there and kind of getting to that grasp, because that Heathers has a lot of. I'm not going to talk about, but even the ending is very, it's very pronounced. That's supposed to be very pronounced. And the musical with it is just kind of, it's very boom. It's very there, and it's very like I said, you have feelings. You listen to music. That's the first thing everybody does, So that was just my idea. So I think you should first dabble into the musical, even if I think, it's not Phantom of the Opera. It's not that, it's not that profound, but it's still good to watch.
well, it's
and I enjoy
even
it.
though that it was written in the '80s, and I guess the musical does the musical still take place in the '80s? I guess.
Yes, I
Okay.
believe so.
It's
'Cause it
still
was 88.
Yeah, it's still very relevant to things that are going on today.
Yes.
Maybe more so now than then.
Mhm.
So it's still a very relevant story.
Exactly. So that's what we agree on. You guys check out the musical first, and we're not just saying that because we're talking about a review for the musical. We're saying that wholeheartedly. That being said, if you're with somebody who hates musicals, don't watch it with them.
Or just leave them.
Like, just leave
Leave
them
that
behind.
person.
Leave that table.
No, leave the person.
Leave that person.
Why would you want to stay with someone who doesn't like musicals?
Or
There's
my
other people
friends,
out there.
yeah.
There's dating websites. There's
Well, even
Facebook.
your friends,
Yeah.
don't have
Me-
friends like that. All my friends like musicals, so.
Most of your friends are gay, though. Sorry.
You're not gay. Oh, that's a whole other episode.
Next point.
Come out of the closet, Jesse. It's Christmas.
Then, in wrapping up this video, I would just like to say I would highly recommend going to see any plays or musicals that Arkansas High puts on. They've got good kids and good directors and good teachers and whatnot, good people doing it. So I've seen two, I've enjoyed both of them, and hopefully they'll put on some more before the year's out. And I'll go see those two, and hopefully you will too.
Alright, guys. Well, I had a great time. Thank you guys for watching again on another episode. And I hope you guys check out Heathers the musical if it comes in your area or what have you. Like I said, if not, check out the film. The TV show never happened. So I'm just going to tell you that I just forgot about it. So if you guys come up and try to talk to me about it, I will deny. But like I always said, don't
Sleepy
forget. You what?
Sleepy Hollow never happened.
Oh, Sleepy Hollow never happened. Like I say, guys, don't forget, like I always say, be nice to each other. Life is too short to deal with mean. We watched a musical about it, guys. Let's be nice to each other. If you don't like somebody, just don't pay them any money. Kill them. Kill them, don't pay mind to them. Either way, however the story goes. But guys, do not forget to like and subscribe. And comment below. I seek approval and would love to hear y'all's thoughts. You guys have a favorite horror musical? What do y'all think about the Heathers musical? Do you guys like the TV show and still want to bring it up to me even when I deny? That's a conversation in itself.
Or if you have any suggestions on what you want us to do videos on. I mean, we've got a list of like 1,000 things, but hey, we could throw your stuff in there.
Exactly. I have been kind of slacking in the whole filming. A lot's been going on. I've been getting physical therapy, I've been my head therapy and everything. So I'm still kind of, getting ahead of things. I have Jesse around to help me out and a few others. So we're working on it. We're getting there. We're getting there. We're getting there. So I want to thank again Jesse for helping me out again, like always. So, and thank you for opening up a chance to go see Heather's the musical.
And thank you for opening up your homes to us.
That's a good one. That's a good one. All right, guys. Well, we will see you next time. I'll see you later. Bye. I'm going to make my way pronounced. Don't be weird about it. Her name was Veronica what?
So it just goes by Veronica.
Oh, really?
They all go by like their. The only ones they have the Heathers, but Veronica they just call her Veronica.
Who's Heather?
The Heathers are the girls.
I'm joking.
Jesus Christ.